Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Burton, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Burton's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and motivations we give him while we're working with him, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot whip training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. Correction that we give is a tug and let go to the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Burton's been fitted with his own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your one-on-one lesson. Now Burton is seated on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. The first command they'll demonstrate is our heel command, and they're going to take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Burton, heel, and he'll fall right in line on your left-hand side and walk nicely along with you. Now we've also incorporated our sit command into this, as you see right there. Anytime Fred stops his feet, Burton will sit. Now it's important when you're heeling Burton that he walks nicely at your pace on your left-hand side without trying to pull ahead or lag behind. If he did attempt to pull ahead or lag behind, you say no, give a tug and let go correction to your training collar, repeat your command to heel, and then start walking again. Now the next command they'll demonstrate is our stay command. This is a hand and voice command. Fred uses the open flat of his left palm and inches so from Burton's muzzle, and the one-word command is stay. He walks out to the end of the training leash. That's a good exercise to build up self-control and maturity in Burton. You can start practicing this one at about a minute's time and work your way up in increments till you get to about 3 minutes. Now as Fred returns back to Burton, he walks all the way around him, providing an added distraction as he goes behind him, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Burton holds his sit-stay throughout, and Fred gives him some praise and then heels him right out of it. We'll show you a little more of the heel, sit, and stay as they're heeling around. And Fred stops his feet, and Burton sits. And then as they come back up front, he stops his feet, Burton sits, he repeats the stay, back out to the end of the training leash. And this time he'll give him a second to hold it, and then he'll demonstrate the come or recall command instead of returning back to him. He's going to call Burton in using his name. He comes in, sits right in front of Fred, and then we have a move called the finish. Fred's going to heel him right around the back of him and gets Burton right back to his left-hand side heel position. He'll demonstrate it one more time. He's in the sit, he gives him the stay, out to the end of the training leash, gives him a second to hold it, and then he calls him into him. And Burton comes in, sits in front, and then the finish, he's going to heel him right around the back of him and gets him right back to his left-hand side heel position, and he sits nicely. Now it's a good time to remind you want to practice all your commands with Burton about 15 to 20 minutes a day. You can practice inside or outside your home and just incorporate the commands into your daily routine with him. Next up is going to be our down commands. The first one will be down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down to the ground and the one-word firm command to down. He then gives him a stay and walks out to the end of the training leash. This is another great exercise to build up that self-control and maturity in Burton. This one can be practiced starting at about 3 minutes, and you work your way up in increments till you get to about 5 minutes. Now as Fred returns back to Burton, he's going to walk all the way around him as he did on the sit stay, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. He holds that down throughout. Fred gives him some praise and then heels him right out of it. And we'll show you that down again when they come back around. And you see Burton's doing very well, but it's always important to follow through with your command. So if you give him a command and he does not respond, you always say no first, followed by a tug and let go correction to his training collar, and then you repeat the command you'd given him. Now Fred's going to give him the down again, and a stay, and back out to the end of the training leash. And this time he'll give him a minute to hold it, and he'll demonstrate that come or recall command right out of the down position.
Burton, come. Good boy.
Calls him in using his name. Burton gets up, comes into him, sits in front, and then the finish. Fred's going to heel him right around the back of him and gets him right back to that left-hand side heel position, and he sits. And we'll give them a second to get lined up for our final command, which is down from a distance. This will be the down from a distance. He's in a sit, Fred gives him a stay, out to the end of the training leash. This is the only time you use your right hand to give the command, and Fred will drop Burton into a down from the end of the training leash. He then returns back to him once again by walking all the way around, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. Alright, we've demonstrated for you our basic obedience commands that we've worked on with Burton here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Burton, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.